While some people slow down and enjoy the peace and tranquility that February brings, cities and towns across Vermont are feeling the hustle and bustle preparing for town meeting day in March.
It's a busy time of year. It's like the holiday season for municipal officials here as we come up to town meeting. A lot to do with not enough time to do it.
With less than a month to go until the big day, time is of the essence. Ted Brady with the Vermont League of Cities and Towns works with municipal leaders across the state as they get ready for the Green Mountain State tradition.
It's time for town meeting. We've got a lot of seating.
Where some towns have a good old-fashioned in-person meeting where they pass or fail items with a voice vote. Others are more traditional with paper ballots. Either way, Brady has a lot of work to do.
We have a town meeting tune-up for the moderators, where last week we had about 100 moderators join us to, as we call it, learn how to rule the unruly. We've answered a few hundred inquiries from select boards, town clerks, you name it, legal inquiries on, how do we word a certain warning? How do we word a certain article?
One article on almost all ballots involves passing municipal budgets. Drafting a budget on any given year is no easy task, but Brattleboro's town manager, John Potter, says given people's sensitivity to property tax hikes, this year's budget was really difficult to draft. What started as a $26.5 million budget with a 22% tax increase has been trimmed to a $25 million budget.
The select board found close to $2 million in cuts that they implemented in response to the initial estimates of a larger budget increase. So that had an impact on many things throughout the budget, including like leaf collection will be stopped, commitment to the arts committee will be stopped, some like climate projects will be stopped. Books for the library are down, whole bunch of different things. A lot of sort of staff compensation things were adjusted down. They took those reductions to get us down to a 9% increase in expenditures for the proposed budget that's going to town meeting.
Potter and the Brattleboro Select Board are among the hundreds of municipal leaders figuring out the balance of paying for wants versus needs this year in an effort to keep tax increases modest. NBC5 heard time and time again from elected officials that health insurance premiums for public employees are taking up a larger percentage of budgets, and there's really not much they can do about it.
All the costs go up for municipal government, just like they do for any business or any person, really. So, fuel costs keep going up, everything keeps going up. We need to be competitive with the salaries that we pay our employees, because if we don't, then a neighboring community takes them away, and then we're left with no one to provide these services, which would again be letting down the community if we had to do that. We looked at our per capita costs in Brattleboro, and they are about $2,080 per person is what our provision of municipal services cost people in Brattleboro. That's about 8 to 10% less than the large communities around us, including Keene and Greenfield. That's our competitive marketplace, basically. And so, we feel like we're doing well. We're a little bit cheaper than the large towns nearby us. But we are always wanting to find ways to be more efficient and to try to keep our costs down.
Brattleboro isn't alone. About 2 hours north in Montpelier, Mayor Jack McCullough and city officials have been trying to trim their $18.9 million budget.
Our proposed tax increase for the city is 4.77%, which we had to make very significant cuts to get it down that low because of a combination of factors, including health insurance increase for our employees of 22%. If we had tried to do everything in this year's budget that we're doing now, we would have had to ask for a tax increase of 24%, which obviously there was no way we could possibly ask the voters to do that, and the voters would not have approved. And so through the winter, we've spent a lot of time working on the budget, making cuts in positions, cuts in services, and we were able to get it down to, as I said, just under 5%. There were hopes among some members of the council that we would be able to keep it to the rate of inflation or even lower, but it was not possible to get it down that low.
Weighing priority projects from year to year has been especially tough as the capital city is still recovering from the devastating flooding that drowned much of downtown in July of 2023. This year, to help bring in more revenue, the city is also asking voters to approve a 1% local option sales tax.
I really see that as an investment in our future, because if we are able to get the sales tax passed, then we will begin to collect some funds from people who come in from out of Montpelier and shop in our stores. And so we're anticipating revenue from that also, although of course that's not built into this year's budget.
Of Vermont's more than 200 municipalities, Brady says the vast majority do have more modest proposed tax increases this year, under 4%. His advice: if you're not sure what your town's budget looks like and are concerned about your property tax increase, get involved.
If you're a town that votes by Australian ballot on your budget, your town is required to have an informational hearing a few days before town meeting. And I'd encourage all Vermonters who are in an Australian ballot town to go to that informational meeting, ask questions. They're interactive meetings. Some of them are held hybrid, so you can do it from the comfort of your own home. But this is your chance to ask the select board chair and ask, if you're in a town with a manager, hey, well, why is this budget item going up? Or why did this have to go down? And you're likely going to hear because of the pressures of inflation. If you're in a town, as a majority of Vermonters are in, that still vote from the floor for your budget, you have more than an opportunity to learn about your budget or vote it yes or no. You have an opportunity to go to a town meeting and actually amend that budget. So if you don't like a line item in that budget, you can show up and from the floor propose that instead of buying a, $100,000 dump truck, you buy a $90,000 dump truck. I don't know that your town will be able to find that dump truck, but you can propose it and debate it and give it a shot and try to change your budget. So we're pretty lucky here in Vermont that there are so many ways not only to learn about your town budget and your city budget, but then also to ask people about it, learn more about it, in many instances, change it.
Brady says circle that first Tuesday in March on your calendar. And beyond educating yourself about the items on your ballot, make sure you get out and cast it. If you vote by Australian ballot, you have the option to vote absentee if you won't be in town on Election Day, for example. Just be sure to make your voice heard.
There is no better way to impact your community, to impact your environment, than to vote in your town budget. It impacts your roads, fire and rescue and police service. It impacts that town forest. It impacts your playground. It impacts so many pieces of your life. And we're really lucky that Vermonters have an opportunity. They don't everywhere in this country to actually vote on their town budget in direct democracy. So I hope people show up on town meeting day and cast their votes.
Town meeting day is Tuesday, March 4th.